Hey everyone, this is arebelspy here, bringing you Shadow Era commentary number 10. This is a viewer game between a Boris and a Zaladar deck. A viewer Lebrook, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Leibrc, recommended this game to me that he played. He said he is the Boris player here, and it's a newer Boris deck. He usually uses other heroes, I guess like Amber, although she's also a human warrior, so not too many, some differences there, as if you've ever played Boris and you played Amber, you know that they play quite differently, but they do have a good overlap of cards. So both our players here, both Lebrook and his opponent C Knight, who is a Zaladar player here, are rated in the upper 230s. I think one was 236 starting this game, and the other was 238. So they're both obviously decent players. We shouldn't see too many mistakes, but we should just be able to enjoy a fairly good played high-level game. So thanks to Lebrook for recommending this game to me, and let's see what happens. The Zaladar player C Knight plays a Spark his turn 1, and the Boris' player's response got to go first. For his 2-drop, gets a Blood Frenzy. So he's going to have that draw advantage, which should come in pretty huge. Zaladar's draw is pretty bad. He has bad Santa and Bazaar. He does go ahead and play another Spark and hit the Boris for 2. Luckily, he didn't have a third Spark, because fast Sparks like that can end the game quickly. But he does get 2 Sparks out, which is kind of a pain, and a Jasmine comes out on turn 3 for the Boris player. Like I was saying, Zaladar doesn't have too great a draw options, so unless he does get one of those, he can fall behind in card advantage. And he plays a Bloodlust, which lets him take out the Jasmine and then hit the Boris for another 4. And with that Blood Frenzy, that's going to be working away at him. Boris is already down to 22 life on his fourth turn, with double spark still on board. So he's going to have a little bit of an uphill battle here. He does get a Jeweler's Dream, but that's not going to be enough to kill a spark, because they're 2/2s, and Boris doesn't do extra damage with a weapon. So he just hits for one, and then he uses, nope, he doesn't have something to use those 2 extra resources with. So just getting a little damage in, getting a weapon in. One advantage of having this weapon out now, though, is he will be able to do some defensive strikes at these sparks to knock them down. And that means he will be able to kill at least one of them on his turn, in addition to doing his Boris ability. He'll be able to crush the skull of that infernal Boris skull crusher. Of course, can pinch the head of any ally who costs 4 or less. So he tosses out an Alden here, and he does kill off that infernal, and then he uses a weapon. Let's see, and kills the spark. I haven't seen this game. I went ahead and recorded it without looking, and then just came back over. He uses 2 resources to go ahead and bounce that other spark back. Recorded it without looking, and came over and saw when it was done, and just hit end recording so that I could then record and commentate and pause and do all that nice stuff. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm assuming LeBrook does win, although maybe he sent in a good game that he lost a close game on. But so we'll kind of see what happens here. He tosses another retreat out to bounce back that infernal, keep that board control going, and hits the Zaladar with an Alden. On one hand, it'd be kind of nice to be able to save that retreat for a plasma, if and when it comes out. Although he probably would have played plasma as his 5-drop last turn if he had one. But also, he doesn't want to leave that infernal on board, because Zaladar's ability is going to let him hit Alden, would have let him hit Alden for 3, and then the Inferno would have finished it off. So he does go ahead and retreat that, and that was, of course, last turn. Zaladar plays the Chimera, and Boris plays an Aeon and bounces the Chimera back. So early retreats. So the Zaladar is down to 19 health, and our Boris player is right around there too, but has quite a bit more board control. So let's see if the Zaladar can kind of take that back, because it's looking a little bleak for our Zaladar player with loss of board control. All right, and he gets a mind control on Aeon and hits the Boris down to 12. So Boris is actually taking quite a bit of early damage here, but with the Boris player's board control and superior card draw, you know, it's not too big a deal being low early, especially because warriors can and do play good cards like Enrage, which not a great card, but packing one of in a warrior deck is quite prudent, at least in the 1.26 environment. So Zaladar uses the ability, doesn't kill anyone, but it does get that Alden down to 1, and hits the ability is going to be able to be used again next turn because he's built up enough shadow energy, so he'll be able to kill that Alden off soon. And so there is the Enrage. We'll keep our Boris player alive a little bit longer. And so he hits that Zaladar there. Both at 18 health now. Our Boris player is still bleeding 1 health a turn, but now the Zaladar is 4 behind. So bleeding out that 1 health a turn over the next 4 turns will even out, but that card draw is going to be huge, like we were saying. And so Zaladar does use his ability again, which will kill off that Alden and hit Boris. And he's got 6 resources. Hopefully he's got some good for us. And he does. He's got a plasma. And a spark that was bounced back a long time ago. So that puts Boris player in kind of an awkward position because he's already used his enrage. He's down to 14 health. He does have an Aeon, and he can, of course, use his ability to kill that little spark. And the reason why that was a good play is because Plasma can do 7 damage on his own, 4 for his ability, 3 for his attack. That spark would let him kill the Aeon, hands down. Whereas right now, he can hit the Aeon for 4, but he can't kill it. If that spark was out right now, he could attack it with the spark, let the spark die, and then attack it with the plasma and clear off that board there. But he does get a nice life infusion off on the plasma, help it stay alive quite a bit longer. Had I known he had that, I probably would have just said he should just use his plasma ability straight up on the hero, because the hero would be at 6 now instead of 10, and then next turn he'd go Plasma's ability and Plasma's attack and finish off the hero. So that's kind of a huge mistake. Right here, the hero's at 10 still. What he needs to do is use the Plasma's ability and attack. Oh, and that bloodlust. Perfect. He could have, with that bloodlust and the ability, he hit for 9. The Boris is at 10 on his turn. He would die right here. Now he's at 9 because of that bloodlust. So the Zaladar player should have won the game right here, either by using Boris's ability last turn or using it. I don't know why you used it to kill off the Aeon. You always want to play in your turn. So now the Alden gets buffed with the King's Pride, buffed by himself, and buffed by the War Banner. So he's a 5/5, or no, it's got to be a 6/5 on the Boris player's turn, and that does let him kill off the plasma. The Boris player here is bleeding life. He's still down to 8, but King's Pride is just, so good. With these allies out, and unless Zaladar player can draw um, a Shriek of Vengeance here to kill it off and have the Infernal then attack the hero, but still wouldn't be quite enough damage. But maybe with that Zaladar blast will knock the Boris down, but attacking the Boris with the Infernal here does nothing because the King's Pride soaks up both of the damage it would do. So here the Boris player has such huge board control with multiple allies with the King's Pride that it's going to be real hard for Zaladar to win here. So the Boris player goes ahead and crushes the Infernal with his ability. He plays another dude. The Zaladar player, you know, I guess if he drew mind control here, he would win the game. If he drew, I don't know, something that does, there's not really any burn cards. Yeah, he's kind of in bad shape here. There's not a lot of cards that can win him the game here unless he gets a mind control. Bad Santa, and he still has 5 resources, so maybe he lucked into. No, he's got to play another Bad Santa, and then he does GG because he's at 7 health, and there's 4 allies on the board with the King's Pride. So our Boris player does win here. That was, you know, a pretty good game. Other than that, you know, huge mistake of C Knight choosing not to win the game. He, in one turn, did the Boris player had 10 health, and the Zaladar player attacked for 5 with plasma because it had a bloodlust on table, and used his ability to nuke Alden or Aeon, which had 1 health. That would have done 9 damage to our hero who had 10, and bloodlust would have finished him off. And I also questioned the play the turn before attacking the Aeon, or using the plasma's ability on Aeon to knock him from 8 to 4. because the hero was so low on health at that point. It probably would have been prudent to start targeting the turn before and just ignore the Aeon. But regardless, obviously that turn, the next turn where he could have won, was kind of a huge mistake. Other than that, the players played pretty well. It was kind of a good, tense game there. But once humans get board control with the King's Pride, if the Shadow player just can't find a Shriek or something to deal with that, it's pretty much GG. Even though the Zaladar player had a decent health lead, it doesn't matter. The King's Pride's a good card, so play that. And thank you very much, LeBrook, for sending in that game, for submitting that. If any of you want me to cast any of your games, I would love to do so. Just post in one of my topics on the forums, or send me a PM, send me a message on YouTube, something like that. And hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time.